morning. Hi, and welcome back to Everyday Consciousness. My name is Elaine Iwicki, and today I'm going to be talking about the benefits of releasing judgments. So, I know it's very easy to judge. There are certain times when there's nothing that feels better than making a judgment. I know when I was younger, when I would start to feel really uncomfortable, the thing that would help me would be to make judgments. Especially in long lines. Especially in long lines that would lead to an end point of an administrative duty like the DMV or the airport or the post office. When I would just, if I was in a long enough line, I would just fall apart into some hell of judgments. When I was very young, there were times when I would be in line and it was so uncomfortable. I had such little patience that I would just be hunched over and sweating and just looking around the room for things to be mad at. So the judgments would come fast and furious, and it was because I didn't have the patience to tolerate my environment. The purpose of my judgments were to separate me from the experience. So I determined in my mind that the experience was what was making me feel this way, and I would try to make myself separate. And as I would judge, I would be right and the situation would be wrong. And I would stand apart and be the better one. But that mindset, it never allowed me to see the beauty in each moment. It never allowed me to experience the natural connection that we all have. It never allowed me to see the humanity in each individual person. It didn't open the door for any sort of kindness or peace or love to be present. It was just me complaining in my mind. So the person that was standing too close, the mouth breather, the person who I thought needed a shower, they were being judged harshly. I was completely overlooking their humanity. And they may have had the decency to not judge the hunched over sweating girl whose eyes are darting all over the place. And not to mention the fact that I drank a lot for about a decade, so I probably smelled like a night of Marlboro Lights and Jägermeister. But what I missed out on the connection, the natural connection. So judgment is it's very insidious in a way because it feels so harmless. Nobody knows so you think, right? Nobody knows you're judging them, and it's not harming anything. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just sitting there and complaining in your mind. But you're missing out because of the separation, because you're trying to stand away from the experience. You're missing out on opportunities. You could be missing out on opportunities for networking, or for just getting random needs met, or for just random connections, or just even being put in a better mood. When you go out and you kind of like chat with someone for a minute and they put you in a better mood, or you do that for them. It's just like you're cutting this part of your life out and just like dismissing it completely. So I also drank a lot for about a decade or so, so I probably smelled like a night of Marlboro Lights and Jägermeister. So what was the result? To be honest, there may have been missed opportunities. So what was the result? To be honest, there might have been missed opportunities for me and for them. I have no doubt the people there at the time are unique and they're virtuous in their own ways, but I didn't have the patience or the inner peace that I needed to stand straight up and feel into the moment. Standing apart and being right was more comforting at the time. But I missed opportunities just on the surface for networking, getting my needs met, just, when you chat with someone for a second and they put you in a better mood, or anything else that ever could have happened are all missed opportunities. I also drank a lot for about a decade, so I probably smelled like a night of Marlboro Lights and Jägermeister. So what was the result? To be honest, there may have been missed opportunities for me and for them. I have no doubt that the people I was standing next to were unique and virtuous in their own ways, but I didn't have the patience or the inner peace to just stand straight up and feel into the moment. Standing apart and being right was more comforting for me at the time, but I may have missed out on opportunities for networking or getting random needs met. Or do you know how, when you talk to somebody for a minute and you just feel like you're in a better mood? Any of that, or any other potential thing of being shoulder to shoulder with strangers. So judging, it turns out that it's actually very insidious. So it turns out that judging is actually very insidious. You do miss out. It seems harmless at the time, like nobody knows you're judging and nobody's getting hurt. And it's comfortable. It's a comfortable coping skill. It's a comfortable coping mechanism, but just because it's comfortable doesn't mean it's good. Fentanyl is comfortable, not good, right? So judging is insidious. You do miss out. I know it's comfortable to do, but so is fentanyl, right? It's designed by the ego, and it has no endpoint or future benefit. It's just separate and be better. There is an expense of connection to people who are essentially you. Or if you take into account that we're all one, it is actually you. Judging is insidious. You do miss out. I know it's comfortable, but judging is insidious. You do miss out. Judging is insidious. You do miss out. I know it's comfortable. I know it is for me at least. But fentanyl is comfortable too. It's designed by the ego, and it has no future endpoint that's going to benefit you or anybody else. It's just a defense coping mechanism. There is an expense of connection to people who are essentially you or are actually you, if you take into account that we're all one. The separated mindset is the only reason why you would dismiss an entire group. So what I'm talking about here is basically the result of judging, like individuals in the post office or the airport. But you can also judge entire groups. The separated mindset, the person who doesn't realize that everybody is kind of exactly them or just like them, or doesn't even have enough of this notion to have empathy, is the only reason you would dismiss an entire. So the separated mindset, the mindset of that's you, this is me, is the only reason why you would ever dismiss an entire group. You can dismiss political opponents, sport team opponents, people with different gender or sexual ideologies, people of different political ideologies, and it definitely impacts you. How much has one, like maybe your top person in your life impacted you? And how much has the top 10 people in your life impacted you? If you're just dismissing entire groups, you have no idea what individual people are in that group. The separated mindset is the only. The separated mindset, that mindset that this is me and that is you, and let's put up a fence so we can both be safe. It's the only reason why you would ever dismiss an entire group, like an entire political group or an entire group of people with different sexual or gender ideologies, a group of, different religious beliefs or other countries, because you're just trying to keep yourself safe. However, when you are dismissing a group, any group or any people who believe something, I don't know if you're actually thinking about the impact that the people in the group could potentially have on you. Like, how much has the top person, the top one person in your life impacted you? How much has the top 10 people in your life impacted you? And when you're just like chopping off entire groups, sections, segments of the population, because you are uncomfortable, like me at the airport, I'm just, the hunched over person who's judging a mouth breather. You can fall into that same thing, but that's like a huge expanded version of it. Who are you ignoring? Who are you leaving out? What is not happening? What are the missed opportunities? What is even the benefit of looking at somebody through a lens that they could or should be separate, right? So according to A Course in Miracles, we save each other through the act of love and forgiveness. So we are all each other's saviors. And the idea is to see the truth in somebody is to see the consciousness, the awareness. There's something that's animating me, and that's the same thing that's animating you, and we're not different. And if I see that, and I have an ability to look over your sins, your ideologies, your difference, your sickness, your whatever, if I can just look past all of these surface level things and see the real you and connect to that, we both instantly get healed. That is quite literally our function here on earth, And the purpose of all relationships is not just to take as much as you can and run away. It's to truly just love and forgive each other and know enough to know that you don't really know anything. So the point of this, right? Why do you not want to judge people at the post office or dismiss an entire group and then choose instead to love and forgive? It's because we actually might need each other one day. I think we already do. It may have hurt me to judge the people at the airport. It would definitely hurt me to judge an entire grouping of people. It would definitely hurt me to see others as sinners, as others as bad, as whatever, like choose your adjective. And letting go of conditional love and conditional acceptance is the greatest way to give and receive freedom. So, if letting go of truth and seeing who people are is beneficial to everybody, then staying in is more beneficial. So if letting go of judgments and hanging on to truth is better and more beneficial than staying in the whole I'm right box, if enough of us can bridge the gap, can truly see the truth and bridge the gap between the separated little boxes we have, the separated little groups we have, the more of us that can do that, the better it will be, because the day might come, and it might be soon, that we're going to need to unify. And that's what's going to happen. Like, we're just going to have to do it. And I know we'll do it. But it would be helpful if we had more people who were able to pull groups together, because then it'll happen faster. So there's one more thing I kind of wanted to bring up about a way to look at So I'm going to put this after I talk about dismissing groups. Letting go of judgment and seeing that it's beneficial for everybody. Letting go of judgment is more beneficial than staying in the I'm right box. And one reason, in one way, so letting go of judgment is more beneficial than staying in the I'm right box. And one way to do this is to see people as innocent. So even the bad behavior that you see, that's just coming from ego. So the ego only wants to avoid pain and seek pleasure. That's literally all it's doing, and it's always reacting to its environment. The ego actually has no natural intelligence, so it just runs around creating pain and havoc and chaos everywhere it goes. But it's all in an effort to run from pain and seek pleasure. Everybody wants that. And because of that, because somebody isn't, aware enough to learn how to take care of themselves while they're still taking care of others, it's still an innocence. It's just a mistake that's being made, but it's coming from a good place. So, as Kevin Nealon says, it's like, so the ego works like what Kevin Nealon says in Happy Gilmore when he's telling Happy, like, block bad, harness good. Block the bad, harness the good. That's literally all the ego is doing. And it's a sweet and innocent thing. It's just misguided. That's all it is. So I hope this has been inspiring. I tried not to make it too preachy, but I really hope that if you even have an ability to see the light of the truth in others, maybe put some effort into getting a little bit more light in, because I know that will be beneficial to everybody. I hope you were inspired by this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.